Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. And Bilawal Bhutto, the fumbling, mumbling, confused, the people, some people call, the Rahul Gandhi of Pakistan, has now said that Pakistan is ready to hand over Hafiz Saeed, Masood Azhar, everyone to India as part of a process. So this has landed him in big trouble. Specifically in responding to a question, he was asked a question, will you extradite Lashkar-e-Toiba chief Hafiz Saeed and Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar, these two terrorists, as possible concessions and good faith gestures to India? He said, why not? I'm sure there will be no hurdle in extraditing any individual of concern, in the context of the question being about Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar. So he said the right thing, but the problem is, ever since that has happened, Hafiz Saeed's son wants to target him. And he said that Bilawal Bhutto should not have talked about the extradition of Pakistanis. His statement is against state policy, national interest and sovereignty. We strongly condemn it. Now, apparently, Hafiz Saeed is putting pressure for the imprisonment of Bilawal Bhutto. And Bilawal Bhutto has been promising the extradition of Hafiz Saeed. But a terrorist son, the Hafiz Saeed's son, is coming out and saying that this is extremely wrong. And the Pakistani media is covering the comment of a terrorist son, Tala Saeed, more importantly than a statement of a person like Bilawal Bhutto, who holds the position of the chairman of the Pakistan People's Party. This tells you about the situation in Pakistan. Bilawal Bhutto wants to hand over Hafiz Saeed to India. And I can understand why he wants to hand over, because it's terrorists like him, like Hafiz Saeed, who killed his mother. It is terrorists like Masood Azhar who killed his mother, together with Musharraf and the Pakistani army. Now for the Pakistani army, for Hafiz Saeed and for Masood Azhar, Bilawal Bhutto has become public enemy number one. Ladies and gentlemen, Bilawal Bhutto has taken on more than he can chew. He should remember that the funeral of the deputy chief of the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Hafiz Saeed's brother-in-law, Hafiz Abdul Rahman Makki, was held on December 27, 2024 at Markaz Taiba, in the presence of the entire army and Hafiz Saeed and top Pakistani leaders. So probably Bilawal Bhutto, who has largely lived outside of Pakistan, does not understand how important terrorists are in Pakistan. He's bitten off more than he can chew. And now, however, here is a golden opportunity for us to take the words of Bilawal Bhutto and ask the Pakistanis whether they will hand over Hafiz Saeed to us or not. Now, it may be a moment of indiscretion, it may be a moment of speaking too much. In fact, Bilawal Bhutto has this tendency. He reveals sometimes, inadvertently, what is on his mind. Like when he said that Pakistan is up for sale, he said that, see, we do dirty work for the Americans. And he says, nobody can hide the fact that we've had a dirty past. These are not my words. The same Bilawal Bhutto who is saying now that we are ready to extradite Hafiz Saeed had said recently that I don't think it's a secret that our country has a past. Now, let's play the soundbite. Remember, this is a person who is talking about the dirty past of his own country. Hear it in his own words.
I don't think that it's a secret that Pakistan has a past as far as extremist groups are concerned. And as a result of this, we have suffered. Pakistan has suffered. We've gone through wave after wave of extremism. We went through the Islamization and militarization of our society.
First of all, what does this word extremist mean? I don't understand. Was Osama bin Laden an extremist? Was he a man of extreme opinion? You can call a person of extreme opinion an extremist, but you cannot call a terrorist an extremist. However, the reality is, Bilawal, unlike others, unlike Shehbaz Sharif, has gone on record to say my country has a dirty background. And that is true because his country is a liar country, which said that Osama never was in Pakistan. Rahman Malik, Pakistan's interior minister, said in 2008 to a group of visiting US diplomats, I have no clue about Osama bin Laden. And then Osama bin Laden was found just a few miles away from Islamabad, not in some tribal badlands. He was found just 2 kilometers away from one of the headquarters of the Pakistani army. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the situation of Bilawal Bhutto. He's made a huge revelation that they support terrorists, they have a dirty past, And now he says, I want to hand over these people to India. Bilawal, fantastic. Keep yourself safe because the terrorists are now after you. Stay safe and hand over these people whenever you can. We're waiting for Hafiz Saeed. We have plans for him. Let's debate.
कौन रात के अंधेरे में हमले करते हैं? चोर रात के अंधेरे में हमले करते हैं, बुज़दिल रात के अंधेरे में हमले करते हैं। भारत को कहना चाहूंगा, हमारा पानी बहेगा या उनका खून बहेगा।
We have been doing this dirty work for United States for about 3 decades, and West.
Its latest gem from the Bhutto clan, Bilawal, speaking not just for himself, but apparently on behalf of the entire Pakistani government. He says that the extradition of Hafiz Saeed will not be opposed if credible evidence is provided. Hafiz Saeed, the mastermind behind the 2008 Mumbai attacks, remains a fugitive in India, but moves freely in Pakistan, despite being under house arrest. India's repeated demands for his extradition have been rebuffed, citing the lack of a bilateral treaty. This is not the first time Bhutto has played the role of unofficial spokesperson for Pakistan, despite being in the opposition. And now, this promise has ruffled more feathers. Tala Saeed, Hafiz Saeed's son, has branded Bilawal's words as a disgrace to Pakistan, accusing him of selling out to India.
इंटरनेशनल न्यूज़ चैनल को इंटरव्यू देते हुए बिलावल ने जो बातें की, भारतीय सहाफ़ी के सवालात के जो जवाबात दिए, हकीकत में वो जवाब बनते नहीं थे, जिससे हम सब की पूरी पाकिस्तानी कौम की दिल आज़ारी हुई है। इस पर हम उसके इस बयानात की भरपूर मदम्मत करते हैं। मेरे वालिद मोहतरम हाफिज़ मोहम्मद सईद हफ़िज़हुल्लाह का किरदार पाकिस्तान की खिदमत, हिफाजत और दिफा के हवाले से हमेशा रहा है। उनका कोई अमल भी रियासत पाकिस्तान के बरअक्स नहीं रहा।
For India, exposing the footprints of Pakistan-sponsored terrorism is not new. New Delhi has time and again submitted evidence of Lashkar terrorism, including the explosive testimony of the 2008 Mumbai attack terrorist Ajmal Kasab. And 17 years after 26/11, Islamabad's blue-eyed boy, Tahawwur Rana, has made a stunning revelation in Indian custody. The 26/11 mastermind has confessed that the deadly attacks were carried out at the behest of Pakistan's ISI. That he did operate as a trusted agent of the Pakistan Army. And that he trained multiple times with Lashkar-e-Taiba along David Headley. After years of legal wrangling, he's finally in Indian custody. Thanks to the very USA that once shared a lunch table with Pakistan's army chief Asim Munir. And today, Rana's admission is a reminder that the past will never stay buried. So now the question is, will Pakistan hand over Hafiz Saeed? Will Pakistan hand over Masood Azhar? And will Islamabad even admit to state-sponsored terrorism?
On the debate tonight, I want to start with Tuhin Sinha, who's the BJP national spokesperson. We have General Bakshi with us tonight. We have Ambassador Deepak Vora with us tonight. We have Pakistani panelists. We have the fantastic Abdul Samad Yaqub of the PTI. We have Irshad Ahmad Khan of the PMLN, and we have Dr. Hamid Khan. Unless we are also told the Zulfikar Ali Badr could be coming unless the Pakistani army is going to abduct him before he comes on. Tuhin Sinha, how do you view this? This statement by Bilawal that Hafiz Saeed should be handed over, Masood Azhar, people like them, people of interest, should be handed over, extradited to India. How do you view this?
Well, good evening, Arnab. Good evening, everybody. Our stand is very clear at this point of time. Trade and terror cannot exist. Trade and terror cannot exist. Terror, water and blood cannot flow together. But the most important point is, if at all there has to be any negotiation with Pakistan, it has to be on two factors. When are they handing over the remaining terrorists to us? And number two, when are they handing over Kashmir to us, the whole of Kashmir to us? So I think if Bilawal Bhutto has taken it seriously, it's a welcome move. But I don't think, given the layers and layers of murk that exists in the ecosystem, in the system of Pakistan, I don't think Bilawal Bhutto would have his way. Ideally, in the last 30 years, post 1993 bomb blast series, the series of bomb blasts in Mumbai, that was the first time we had submitted a dossier. That was the first time we had submitted a dossier asking for certain terrorists to be extradited. Had Pakistan acted 3 decades ago, things would have been different. But the enormity of terror attacks, especially.
But could it be that
between 2004 to 2009?
Could it be?
We had a free run.
Could it be? There is a view. And this view is an interesting view, General Bakshi and Deepak Vora. This view is that Hafiz Saeed has outlived his utility for the Pakistanis. They're spending a lot on his security, Deepak Vora. They're bothered about him. And after the BrahMos strikes, they feel that they're taking on too much in the process of protecting him. And Bilawal is actually talking the same language that is in the minds of many Pakistani people, that Hafiz Saeed has become a liability, extradite him to India. You think that's possible, Deepak Vora? What's your take?
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Always a privilege to be with you. I wish I were in the studio because your energy is infectious, and I get enthused when I'm next to you. Nevertheless, may I say, sir, and my Pakistani colleagues will, the journalists and others will forgive me, this Bagar Billah fellow,
louder,
which means a polecat or a sir?
Sir, carry on, sir.
Yeah. I was just saying this character, Mr. Bhutta, whatever his name is. Sir, I don't think he has said this without clearance. He's a loose cannon. He's flying a kite. I'll tell you what it is. A few days ago, he was saying we are going to attack India and divert the waters of all the 6 rivers to Pakistan. I said, this clown doesn't know, then he'll have to take Ladakh and Kashmir and Himachal and Punjab and Haryana and all that. Somebody told him, don't be an ass. Sir, now, his statement was that I'm prepared to consider extraditing these characters if India cooperates. I'm trained 52 years to understand. Ye kya bol raha hai? What does he mean, India cooperates? India cooperates by suspending the suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty.
Right.
Sir, let me complete this. This character, these two fellows are not more valuable than the water that flows into Pakistan. I mean, he says, you allow the water to flow, I'll shackle these guys, I'll manacle them and send them upstream to India. That, I believe, after 52 years in diplomacy, trying to understand what this clown is saying, this is what he said. And he has had it cleared with the military that hasn't shot him as yet. So obviously, they're trying to see what India's response will be. Sir, I rest my case.
General Bakshi, how do you view this?
Arnab, I tend to agree. Would Bilawal Bhutto have the guts to open his beak on such a sensitive subject without a nod from the military? Absolutely no. This man is not like his uncles who at least fought. One of them, became a kind of a guerrilla leader and at least fought. He has no such guts. The simple fact is, Arnab, take your time back. Just a few days back, Donald Trump called for lunch. General Asif Munir, now failed Marshal Asif Munir. There are no free lunches in America.
Right.
There are, I repeat, no free lunches in America. He was being asked, read out the Riot Act and told to get on with it and mend your fences, right? Because I think apparently Donald Trump wants both India and Pakistan to fight with China on his behalf or whatever. So he was told to mend his fences. Now, quite obviously, Asif Munir will not risk his rising stock with the people of Pakistan, which he gained during Op Sindoor, by turning internal angst into angst against an external enemy. So he wants a trial balloon. He wants a buffoon to head this, a civilian buffoon to say this. And he's got, he's gotten Bilawal Bhutto. There are even rumors I'm hearing, Arnab, from Pakistan side that Bilawal Bhutto may be the next PM. Maybe he wants to get rid of Shahbaz Sharif. And as apropos the issue of handing over, terrorists whose use by date is over. The Pakistanis are past masters. They have had so many Taliban leaders in their captivity. At the right time, they have sold them to the CIA. When his use value was over, they have shamelessly sold them to the CIA. You can do with them what you like. The use by date of these two leaders is over. Terrorist leaders, terrorist minions, Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar. So where is the problem in the Pakistani army handing them over? But do they want to be seen handing them over? No, sir. They will get a clown like...
They'll do it through Bilawal,
Bhutto.
yeah.
The Bhutto skier.
Because this is becoming extremely serious.
The fat little, Billy Bunter. Fat little Billy Bunter to front this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, because I'm sure Imran Khan will take the fullest advantage. He will burn up the Pakistani street. And Asim Munir will sacrifice Bilawal Bhutto.
But now Hafiz Saeed's son is coming out, and there have been 7 statements in the last 24 hours, Deepak, 7 statements from this Hafiz Saeed's group and his son and others saying that Bilawal Bhutto must apologize. He has no right to demand the extradition or offer the extradition of Hafiz Saeed. His statement is against the state policy of Pakistan. He has compromised Pakistani national interest and Pakistani sovereignty. Now, these statements are coming thick and fast, almost one every 1.5 hours. So there's a bit of chaos going on there. Abdul, of Bilawal, or was it a well-thought statement?
Well, Talha Saeed knows better that this Mullah Mujahid military alliance doesn't fall in the jurisdiction of Bilawal, and Bilawal has no authority to even, give such statements. And I'm sure that so far Bilawal definitely has made apology to Talha Saeed privately or discreetly. I mean, he knows that even if Bilawal at the moment has no official status, I mean, he's not into the government.
No, but did he not go? Did he not go after we bombed you? Did he not go? Was he not sent? In sort of a copycat move by your government to America to sort of explain how bad your situation is and why India should not. Push missiles and the BrahMos towards Pakistan. He was part of a move sent by your government. So he's not completely distinct from your government. You're saying he has no right, but this is a big statement. It's like saying we're going to hand over. He has made an offer. You need to understand, Abdul Samadji. He has made an offer to extradite Hafiz Saeed.
Well, even if Bilawal Bhutto would be a prime minister and such statement comes from the prime minister, it has no value. I mean, I'm telling you clearly that this military Mullah Mujahid alliance doesn't...
No, but Shahbaz went to Khamenei, Munir went to Trump, and Bilawal went to the US Congress. He spent a lot of time in America. He comes back from America, and the first statement he makes is that we are ready to extradite Hafiz Saeed and persons of interest like Masood Azhar. Please connect the dots.
Masood Azhar is in Afghanistan, and Hafiz Saeed is convicted and imprisoned for 33 years. So
no, we already have Tahawur Rana. Listen. The Americans gave us Tahawur Rana. He's here, he's confessed. Now, Bilawal is saying after his long America trip, he says that, see, we can give up these people. They don't mean much to us. See, look at how he says. He says, Zulfikar Ali Badr, PPP spokesperson, he said, we're ready to hand over these persons of interest. And the question was specifically about Masood Azhar and Hafiz Saeed. It was not a general question.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, Arnab, for inviting me to your show. First, I would like to categorically say that Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is a respectable and a responsible person. These two oldies who are sitting on the show, they must have a symptom of respect to show. They are saying clown, they do. Himself, if they look into the mirror, they look like clowns.
No, see, the quality of your point is, Zulfikar, did Bilawal Bhutto say or not that we are willing to hand over Hafiz Saeed? Now, why did he say that? Is it because the army killed his mother?
We have no objection to the extradition of individuals of concern to India.
Precisely. And who are those individuals of concern? Hafiz Saeed. Precisely. Don't open your mouth. Don't gape. Don't show me your open mouth. Answer my question, Zulfikar. The persons of interest are the persons of interest, Zulfikar. The persons of interest are Hafiz Saeed. The person of interest is Masood Azhar. Your leader offered to extradite them. Now hand them over to us, damn it.
You have to behave.
Hand them over to us. I mean, you don't open your mouth like that. You know, please don't open your mouth so wide.
India is
Do not open your mouth wide. It is rude. Do not open your mouth so wide. Now answer my question. Do not open your mouth so wide, I'll have to rebuke you. You answer my question. Why did he say? You said. Now you got scared. You listen to me, Zulfikar. You got scared. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you a little story. I went to Dubai once. You know. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a true story. I tell you a true story, Zulfikar. Listen to me. Listen to me now. Now listen to me, Zulfikar. I went to Dubai and I met Benazir Bhutto. This story is about your former leader. Listen to me. I met Benazir Bhutto in Dubai. She had a bungalow, a very lavish life, and I was about to interview her, and I told her. Ms. Bhutto, why? She said, change the position. I don't want to be facing, I don't want my back to the door. I said, why? She said, I want to face the door. I said, why? She said, I'm scared. And then I told her, where have you come from? She said, I've just come from the spa. I said, no, what are you planning? She said, I'm having a great time because I know when I go back to Pakistan, Musharraf is going to try and kill me. She said that to me before my interview. Now listen, the Pakistani army killed Benazir Bhutto. You don't have the guts to come on an Indian TV program and speak against the army that killed your leader? You are such an invertebrate, such a spineless man you are, Zulfikar. The army killed your leader. Do you dare say that the army killed your leader, the terrorists killed your leader? Who killed your leader? Who killed Benazir? Zulfikar, open your mouth and say that. Don't open your mouth so wide. First answer my question. Who killed Benazir? Who killed Benazir? Answer me right here, right now. Before you speak a word tonight. Now you close your mouth because you have no answer. What kind of a man are you? First you open your mouth, then you close your mouth. Give me an answer tonight. Give me an answer right here, right now. Who killed Benazir? Who killed Benazir? Tell me.
Sitting behind
Who killed Benazir?
Sitting behind the curtain.
Who killed Benazir?
They have killed Benazir and
who killed Benazir? Who killed Benazir?
Listen,
Who killed Benazir?
Don't.
Zulfikar, you are sweating. You're sweating. Come on, man. Who killed Benazir? Who killed Benazir? Tell me.
My sweating doesn't give a point that
but you're sweating. That you acknowledge you're sweating. That's a good point. You're sweating. You're opening your mouth. You're closing your mouth. You're not answering my question. Your leader has made a comment that he wants to extradite Bilawal. Bilawal says, I want to extradite. Now you're running scared of the army. You want to take back the comment. Abdul Yaqub, now he wants to take back the comment. Abdul, I can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Well, Benazir wrote an email to the March Eagle in which she mentioned that if I am assassinated, Pervez Musharraf and Pervez Ilai should be nominated. And what they have done with the Pervez Musharraf, I mean, they formed their government under the presidency of the Musharraf, and they made the deputy prime minister. Pervez Ilai becomes the deputy prime minister who was nominated by the Benazir Bhutto. So they have made a deal with the assassins of the Benazir Bhutto. Can he blame the Musharraf? Zulfikar, can you name the Musharraf? Your leader told to nominate her.
I can say it was General Musharraf who killed Benazir Bhutto. I can say here. I'm not scared and afraid
So what
of
have you
anyone.
done with the Musharraf?
It was General Musharraf.
What have you done with the Musharraf? Your Mumbai attacks took place in your
So you're
government.
saying the army killed your leader. 1 minute. You're saying the army, you're saying huge statement tonight. The Pakistani army killed his leader. He says that tonight. There's a very big statement from the official spokesperson of the Pakistan People's Party. He says the Pakistani army and Parvez Musharraf killed Benazir Bhutto. I congratulate you for your openness on that.
Pakistani army, I said it was not army as an institution, but dictator Musharraf is.
But dictator Musharraf was wearing the uniform. Come on now, don't pull back. You're on the biggest Indian channel on the most watched program, Zulfikar. You're in my territory now. Answer me.
What I said earlier.
Answer me tonight. Now you don't go back all the time. You hand over Hafiz Saeed because your leader said, I'll hand over Hafiz Saeed. You got to do that. You got to follow up on your words tonight. You got to follow up. And you just said right
Mr.
now,
Bilawal
this is huge. He says, the PPP spokesperson says, army killed, let this be breaking news. The PPP spokesperson said, army killed Benazir Bhutto. Army killed Benazir Bhutto and Bilawal is scared right now.
I never said army killed. I said dictator Musharraf killed.
Dictator Musharraf was not a civilian. Zulfikar, are you confused, man, or what?
Into my mouth, Arnab.
I'm not putting any words, and my name is Arnab, not Arnab. And now please listen to me. You just said that the army killed Benazir Bhutto. Now your leader says we're going to hand over Hafiz Saeed. I'm not putting these words in your mouth. These are voluntary disclosures. These are voluntary disclosures being made. Everything is on record now.
I never said.
You said. You just said. You said those words. Now you're scared for your life, is it, Zulfikar? Don't worry.
No, it's not a matter of
Abdul Samad was abducted after a TV program. Yaqub was abducted after he came on my program.
Your words into my mouth.
I don't put words in anyone's mouth. We're straightforward people. Our words are like the Brahmos. They go straight to the target.
Straightforward, yeah. Yeah, right. Straightforward, yes.
Yeah, Zulfikar, now don't repeat my words.
Of coming on the table.
You said, your leader said.
Why don't you come on the table?
I didn't say a word. Your leader said. General Bakshi, 1 minute. Let's understand this. Your leader, General Bakshi, their leader said, the chairman of their party said, we want to hand over Hafiz Saeed. Did we put him under narcotics to make him say that? It was a disclosure from his own mind. Did you feed him the truth serum when he said that? He said it.
Arnab, I reiterate. He said that. That is a fact. And I am certain that he said that with a nod from the same Pakistani military that had killed his mother, as admitted to on your program by the PPP.
Army killed. Big news, breaking news.
Number two, Arnab, I would just like to point out one military factor. The Pakistani military has a use and throw policy. It disowns the people that it sends across. In 1999, during Kargil, it refused to take back the bodies of the dead Shia troopers of the 5 Northern Light Infantry battalions that had been thrown into Kargil. Why talk of Kargil, Arnab? Let me tell you of what happened during Op Sindoor. We hit the Noor Khan command and control bunker of the Pakistan Air Force, which also doubled as the nuclear command authority of Pakistan. That was at Noor Khan Air Base. We hit the UAV command and control bunker at Murid Air Base. And do you know, to hide their loss, what did Pakistan do? It didn't take out any bodies. There were hardly any bodies left, Arnab. But it didn't take out even the remains and hand them over to the relatives for a decent burial. It got a dozer, Arnab, for God's sake. It got a dozer and it dozed down the Noor Khan command post and it dozed down the Murid Khan command post to hide the losses from the people of Pakistan and the world.
I understand, but my point right now is...
It entombed them.
General
it is
Bakshi,
quite capable of selling off Hafiz Saeed and...
No, the General Bakshi, the statement has been made. The statement has been made. The statement has been made. And it's a significant statement. And it's breaking news tonight. And by the way, Zulfikar Ali Badr, who's sitting on my program, is the Central Additional Secretary General of the Pakistan People's Party. So he's a very, very senior PPP leader. He's come on my program. I think these are all deliberate statements. First statement, we want to hand over Hafiz Saeed. Second statement, we are willing to extradite Masood Azhar and other people of interest. Third statement, Pakistan Army killed Benazir Bhutto.
You are making this up.
This has just been made. This has been said right here. I'm going to pull out that part. If you accuse me, Zulfikar, you said it. I'm going to play it out. You said Musharraf killed Benazir Bhutto. You said Musharraf killed Benazir Bhutto. Did you not say that?
Dictator Musharraf.
Yeah, dictator Musharraf, or clown Musharraf, or whatever, but Musharraf is Musharraf. And he was the chief.
I said army, not an institution.
I mean, I don't know why Yaqub is now trying to go back on that. I'm going to pull out the bite.
What about Zulfikar Ali Bhutto? Who killed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto?
Yeah, who killed Zulfikar?
Was it Ziaul Haq or was it Pakistan Army?
Dictator Zia.
So the Pakistan Army killed.
Or a military chief. Dictator Zia or military chief. Why are you confused, I mean, you are even reluctant
to
name
the name of Pakistan Army. I said dictator Zia and dictator
Why are you scared
Musharraf?
of Pakistan Army, bhai?
General Musharraf, who was a dictator.
But was Musharraf in uniform at that time as a dictator?
Yes.
That means what? He was the highest person in the Pakistan Army, right or no?
You see,
right or wrong? Come on.
Decisions are not the decisions of the institution. You have to be
of course
very
it is
clear
a representative of the institution.
And you cannot put your words in my mouth.
I am not putting any words. You put your words in my mouth. You're trying to pull them back.
You want to make a headline out of
I'm not grabbing any headline. You've given me multiple headlines tonight. And before this program is over, it's going to be a headline all over Pakistan. Now, that's a fact, and I think it's a big admission. I congratulate you for it. Ishad Ahmad Khan, today, Zulfikar Ali Badr is saying that Musharraf killed Benazir, Army killed Benazir, and his leader Bilawal is saying that we are willing to extradite Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar.
I said Musharraf killed, I never said Army killed.
ये ऐसे ही है, बदर साहब का बयान ऐसे ही है जैसे कि बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी ने कह दिया कि हाफिज सईद साहब को इंडिया के हवाले कर देंगे। इंडिया कैसे सोच सकता है कि मेरे उलमा को इंडिया के हवाले कर देंगे? आप 75 साल से यही जंग लड़ रहे हैं कि हमारे मुल्क से इस्लाम का खात्मा हो जाए, हमारे मुल्क से उलमा का खात्मा हो जाए, हमारे मुल्क से ये मुजाहिदीन पाकिस्तान खत्म हो जाए। ही नहीं खत्म कर सकते आप खत्म हो जाएंगे। देखिए, दूसरी बात जनरल साहब, अभी जनरल बख्शी साहब फरमा रहे थे कि जी मेरे हाफिज आसिम मुनीर फील्ड मार्शल को डिनर पे बुलाया।
आप ये बताइए कि जो बिलावल ने कहा, वो चेयरपर्सन है, उन्होंने कहा ऐसे लोगों जिनको इंग्लिश में कहा जाता है पर्सन्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, हम हैंडओवर, भारत को हैंडओवर करने के लिए तैयार हैं। ये पीपीपी के चेयरमैन हैं।
उनको मुझे दबाव है, आपका पूरे फिक्र रहिए, आप मेरा बात सुनिए। चेयरमैन है, ये जो भी है, जो मुल्क के खिलाफ बात करेगा, मैं उससे मुल्क का बाशिंदा
ये मुल्क के खिलाफ क्यों बात कर रहे हैं? ऐसे लोगों को अपने देश से बाहर करके इंडिया में हैंडओवर करने से मुल्क के खिलाफ कैसे हो गई ये बात? ये मुल्क के खिलाफ कैसे हो गई ये बात समझाइए। ये आपके मुल्क के खिलाफ कैसे है?
बात कर रहे थे पूरी आप।
नहीं, एक मिनट, 1 मिनट। Irshad, how is it against Irshad, how is it against your country's interests if you're handing over Hafiz Saeed? Why are you saying ये मुल्क के खिलाफ बात कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, मैं बताता हूँ।
ग्लोबली डेजिग्नेटेड टेररिस्ट जनाब,
वो आलिम दीन है, वो एक तंजीम चला रहे हैं जिसने हिंदुस्तान की नाकों चले चबवाए हैं। हिंदुस्तान डरता है तो मेरे उलमा से डरता है, हिंदुस्तान डरता है तो तला सईद से डरता है, हिंदुस्तान डरता है तो हाफिज सईद से डरता है। क्यों डरता है? कि ये जान देने वाले हैं।
Here's a saying. We say, ये कह रहे हैं, एक मिनट, ये कह रहे हैं इरशाद, ये कह रहे हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बात आपने कही है आज, आपने बहुत बड़ी बात कही है। आपने अभी कह दिया कि जब आपकी धज्जियां उड़ाई हमने, मेरी बात सुनिए, जब आपकी धज्जियां उड़ाई ना आपकी एयरबेस की, आपकी आर्मी की, उसके बाद आप कह रहे हैं हम आपके आर्मी एयरफोर्स को केयर नहीं करते, अंडरस्टैंड, बट यू वांट टू हैंड ओवर फॉर अ रीजन। बिलावल भुट्टो अमेरिका में 1 महीने थे, उसके बाद आके पहले स्टेटमेंट में कहते हैं वी वांट टू एक्स्ट्राडाइट हाफिज सईद टू इंडिया। उनके बेटे आके कहते हैं कि बिलावल भुट्टो ने गलत बात कही है। पाकिस्तानी आर्मी इस पर बिल्कुल चुप है। शायद डील हुई है, शायद पाकिस्तानी आर्मी ने डील किया बिलावल के साथ, मे बी पाकिस्तान आर्मी हैज डन अ डील विद दीपक बोरा। शायद ये डील बैक चैनल डील हुई है आपकी, शायद ये बैक चैनल डील है आपकी कि आप हैंड ओवर करेंगे, विच इज ऑल राइट, नो प्रॉब्लम।
आप डरपोक लोग हैं।
When are you handing him over?
पकड़े जाके
आप हैंड ओवर कब कर रहे हैं? मुद्दे पे आइए, हमने तो फोर्स नहीं किया आपको।
क्यों अमेरिका के आगे जा?
Now they are trying to backtrack out here, but I want to play. Can I have the soundbite where he said that Musharraf killed Benazir? Can I have that soundbite? Now they are getting nervous. Now Deepak Vora abhi nervous ho rahe hain.
I repeated this. Musharraf killed Benazir many times, but I never said army killed Benazir.
पूछ रहे हैं अर्नब,
They're all confused tonight. You see,
बहुत डरते हैं।
You see, where is that fellow gone, Hamid Khan? Irshad, you're out of form. I'm hammering you as mercilessly as the Brahmos hammered you.
पाकिस्तान के खौफ से अमेरिका के पांव पकड़े आपके जाकर
America, कोई America, nobody's going to save you right now. Irshad, hand him over to us now. Now, this is a, can you be quiet? I want to change the windows. It's getting irritating, viewers. Now, Tuhin, I want to go back to Tuhin for a moment. Can you be quiet? Tuhin, now, you see, this is a curious situation. Is this possibly drama before the FATF? Some people are saying there's an FATF meeting on 25th August. There's an FATF plenary, there's a working group, and we prepared a dossier, and there's an internal understanding about distancing from Hafiz Saeed. There's an internal Pakistani understanding. Otherwise, Bilawal cannot make a comment like that. He cannot. He's been foreign. He knows.
It would be futile to get into the. It would be futile for me. It would be futile to speculate on the issue. But fact is, today is probably a day of very explosive confessions. First, you had the Havur Rana directly once again re-establishing the complicity of Pakistan in 26/11, and by the way, he has also mentioned that he was here in Mumbai during 26/11. And now on your show, somebody confessed that it was Musharraf who got Benazir Bhutto killed. So which again only corroborates, which only vindicates what we have been saying throughout, that there is not much of a difference between the Pakistan military establishment and terror organizations, between non-state actors and state actors, and which only vindicates our stand that talks, if at all, can only happen once they decide to hand over the terrorists involved in the last 3 decades of horror on Indian soil, which have killed nearly 10,000 people. So if whatever it is chicanery or if it is for real, if somebody in Pakistan is thinking on those lines of handing over, that's a welcome move. But like I said, given the history of Pakistan, I have my serious doubts on how far that thing would go, and whether the person who is thinking on these lines is safe in Pakistan.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Badr, Zulfikar Badr, you have denied saying that you have denied saying that Musharraf killed Benazir. I'd like to play the soundbite where 15 minutes back you said Musharraf killed Benazir. I'd like you in the frame while I play this soundbite, so that you can listen to what you said 15 minutes back before you deny it. You see, the problem with you Pakistanis is आप 10 मिनट से ज़्यादा अपने एक लाइन को एक इशारे में नहीं कर सकते. आप हर 10 मिनट अपना लाइन बदलते हैं.
Can you?
I don't know.
Can you listen?
I am listening. Yeah, let me play out. Okay, let me play out first what you said. Here's what you said. Let's play it out. Why with you on air? Let's play it out. Play it out.
I can say it was General Musharraf who killed Benazir Bhutto. I can say here. I'm not scared and afraid
What
of
have you
anyone.
done with the Musharraf?
It was General Musharraf.
So you're saying the army killed your leader? 1 minute. You're saying the army, you're saying huge statement tonight. The Pakistani army killed his leader. He says that tonight.
I can say it was General Musharraf who killed Benazir Bhutto. I can say here. I'm not scared and afraid
what
of
have you
anyone.
done with the Musharraf?
It was General Musharraf.
So you're saying the army killed your leader? 1 minute. You're saying the army, you're saying huge statement tonight, the Pakistani army killed... 1 minute, just 1 minute. First of all, that's a wrong window. We'll run the right sound bite. See, listen, don't be worried. Why are you scared of the Pakistani army? Aapne bol diya Musharraf killed Benazir Bhutto. Ab stick with it. Musharraf army killed Benazir Bhutto.
You have been telling me that I said about the Pakistani army. I never mentioned about Pakistani army.
But you said that Musharraf was in uniform.
Musharraf. So you have
Abdul Samad, but Musharraf was in uniform.
Words in my mouth, which I am not going to take.
I'm not. Are you scared for your life?
You see, nobody in Pakistan is scared of life the way we have done on 10th May morning. 10th of May morning.
10th May you went running to the Americans. Come on. 10th May you went running to the Americans. Come on now.
That you went to, you were begging for America. You called.
Uncle, save me. Uncle, save me. Uncle, save me. Uncle, save me. The Indians are hammering me. मुझे मार रहे हैं. Save me. Save me, BrahMos is coming. मुझे 30 सेकंड भी reaction time नहीं मिला. Uncle, save me. Uncle, save me. Next time we'll beat you nicely. Deepak Gora, today what's going on with the Pakistanis? They're embarrassing themselves on my program.
Movies the same way you can run and talk on the television shows.
Right. Let me add one more thing to this, sir. You do know that there was a UN Security Council resolution which did not mention they removed the reference to the National Resistance Front on the insistence of Pakistan's Foreign Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and then he boasted about it. And the Chinese helped him. Then the Shanghai Cooperation Organization borrowed largely from that and did not name anybody. Again, we were latecomers to the SU. But now we've just had the BRICS declaration that names Pahalgam and says that terrorists and their sponsors should be sanctioned. China, sir, the declaration, sir, tell this guy to keep quiet. The declarations of BRICS are by consensus. China was not able to prevent this reference to Pahalgam. Pakistan is running scared that now they are going to be exposed with the FATF review committee coming up. So therefore this offer, we are good boys. We are getting rid of all the terrorists. Our defense minister said we've been doing it for 30 years. No, we've come clean. No, we are angels. This is the game, sir. And it's exposed. You have exposed it, and thank you very much for exposing it.
Now this is a very important point. Irshad ji! Thank you. 1 minute. Listen to me. First of all, आपके जो ये बिलावल है, ये कहाँ के है भाई? ये लैंकाशायर के हैं कि लाहौर के हैं? इनका एक्सेंट मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है.
देखिए.
Now anyway, देखिए मैं बाद में बात करता हूँ. दो बातें. देखिए, embarrassing है.
You won't understand. Because you are too funny to handle things like
anyway,
that.
ठीक है. Listen, you said the army killed Benazir. Abhi you are like so scared. You want me to play that? You said army killed Benazir.
जवाब देता हूँ आपको.
I never said army.
You said army killed Benazir. Then you said Parvez Musharraf was wearing the uniform, which means he was an army man and he killed Benazir.
देखिए मैं जवाब देता हूँ.
एक मिनट आप जवाब मत दीजिए. इरशाद जी एक मिनट. इरशाद जी, see, look at the logical chronology समझिए. जैसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, chronology समझिए. 2 दिन पहले, 1.5 दिन पहले इस वीकेंड की सबसे बड़ी खबर क्या थी? कि चाइना ने इंडिया को सपोर्ट किया at the BRICS summit when Narendra Modi was in Brazil, where China ने कहा कि जो UN designated terrorist है, right, they should be handed over. अब UN designated terrorist कौन है? हाफिज सईद है. किसने कहा हैंड ओवर होनी चाहिए? चाइना ने कहा. चाइना ने कहा कि UN designated terrorist हैंड ओवर करनी चाहिए. उसके तुरंत बाद, सुनिए इरशाद जी, प्लीज डोंट शाउट. उसके तुरंत बाद बिलावल ने कहा कि हम हाफिज सईद को हैंडओवर करने के लिए रेडी है. ये क्रोनोलॉजी है.
ये उसकी जाती राय है. बिलावल
जाती राय क्या है? चाइना की कोई जाती राय नहीं होती.
हुकूमत ने नहीं कहा, मेरे वजीर आजम ने नहीं कहा, मेरे प्रेसिडेंट नहीं कहा, मेरे
अविरोध होके क्या फायदा इरशाद जी?
जाती राय है बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी.
मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला था.
अरे साहब, बिलावल भुट्टो आपका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बन के अमेरिका गया था. आप लोगों ने चुना था.
आपने भेजा,
डेलीगेशन लेके गया था, आपका फॉर्मर फॉरेन मिनिस्टर है।
इरशाद जी मुझे मौका दें, मैं बात
तो दूसरे फॉर्मेट ले लो फिर।
बच्चे लगेंगे, मुझे भी सुनिए ना, मुझे भी बोलने दीजिए, मुझे मौका दीजिए। देखिए बात यह है कि एक जाती राय होती है, एक हुकूमत की राय होती है, एक इदारों की राय होती है। अगर जाती राय बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी की ये है तो उसकी कोई राय, उसका कोई मायने नहीं रखते। दूसरी बात यह है कि हाफिज सईद साहब को आप बड़े अरसे से
370 लोग मुशर्रफ ने अमेरिका के हवाले किए। डॉक्टर साहब 370 अलकायदा के लोग अमेरिका के हवाले किए, ये जाती राय में किए थे, ये पर्सनल कैपेसिटी में किए थे उसने।
मेरी बात सुनिए जरा आप,
नहीं आप एक सवाल का जवाब दें, आप एक सवाल का जवाब दें।
आपके दरमियान में मैं नहीं बोला, क्योंकि
नहीं मैं आपसे एक सवाल कर रहा हूँ, एक सवाल कर रहा हूँ। 370 अलकायदा टेररिस्ट को मुशर्रफ ने अमेरिका के हवाले किया।
मुझे इनको जवाब देने दीजिए, मुझे जवाब देने दीजिए इनको। ये बात कर रहे हैं मुसलसल हाफिज सईद साहब पे, तला सईद साहब पे, ये हमारे आलम दीन है, इनका आप बाल बेका नहीं कर सकते।
हाफिज सईद
मुसलमान मरने के लिए करता नहीं है, मरने
हाफिज सईद को 33 साल की सजा क्यों दी आपने?
नहीं देखिए, मैं देखिए आप
आलम दीन है, वो आलम दीन रहेगा।
Irshad, don't shout. I think it's important. I think Abdul Samad Yaqub, what I like about you, you speak the truth. Sometimes you get into trouble for it. But whatever be the case, you see, there are two things that have happened. China has supported India in saying that UN designated terrorists must be handed over. And within moments of that, PPP has taken that line and said that yes, we can consider handing over Hafiz Saeed and this fellow, what's it, other terrorist, Masood Azhar. Now, that's a specific question, okay? Now, maybe all of this confusion is that China is angry with Pakistan because Pakistan has gone to the American camp. So, जो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना घर का ना घाट का, ना घर का ना घाट का।
चाइना was the country कि जिसने मसूद अजहर को यूएन टेररिस्ट डिक्लेयर करने में 10 साल तक वो रेजोल्यूशन को होल्ड किया, प्रोसीजरल डिले किए। 10 साल तक मसूद अजहर को यूएन टेररिस्ट डिक्लेयर नहीं होने दिया था चाइना ने। 10 साल लगे थे और जाके फाइनली जो था वो मसूद अजहर जो है वो डिक्लेयर हुआ। चाइना खुद तंग आ चुका हुआ है अपने इंसर्जेंट से, अपने चाइनीज टेररिस्ट से या इंसर्जेंट से जो चाइना के अगेंस्ट लड़े हैं। तो चाइना की जो इस वक्त टेररिज्म के हवाले से पॉलिसी है उसमें एक ग्रेट शिफ्ट आया है। वो पाकिस्तान से भी ये मुतालबा करता है कि जी अब हम आपको इस मैटर के ऊपर सपोर्ट नहीं कर सकते। पाकिस्तान को अपनी पॉलिसी चेंज करनी होगी कि वो जो ब्लीड इंडिया विद 1000 कट्स था या इन्फिल्ट्रेशन थी, उस पे चाइना पाकिस्तान को फर्दर सपोर्ट नहीं करता
है। So that is the point, नहीं करता है। इरशाद जी, don't get angry. Irshad again is shouting, चाइना नहीं कर रहा है क्योंकि eventually China realizes they have to do business with India. We're the largest market in the world. We're a big country. We're third largest economy. We'll deal with you. आप insignificant हो इरशाद जी. You are insignificant. You are as insignificant as the centipede. आपकी कोई सिग्निफिकेंस नहीं है।
आपको बता रहा हूँ, पाकिस्तान
आप पहले जुल्फिकार अली बदर को कांग्रेचुलेट कीजिए जो उन्होंने कहा है कि बेनजीर भुट्टो को पाकिस्तान आर्मी ने मारा।
जुल्फिकार अली,
इनकी जैसी हिम्मत को कभी-कभी ऐसी हिम्मत को दाद देनी चाहिए आपको। जो हिम्मत इन्होंने दिखाई है कि पाकिस्तान आर्मी ने बेनजीर भुट्टो को मारा, ये कहने के लिए हिम्मत होनी चाहिए।
फंसाने की कोशिश की, उनको फंसाने की कोशिश की और वो फंस गए आपके जाल में। हिंदुस्तान का काम ये है कि हिंदुस्तान एक जाल फैलाता है।
I am not trying to फंसाओ anyone, man. मैं पूरा साउंड बाइट प्ले करूंगा।
पाकिस्तान से मार खा करके भागा।
मैं play the whole sound bite. 1 minute. Is it ready now on the full screen? Can we run it? Here is the one. Do I have the sound bite? Yes or no, producers?
कभी आप पानी बंद करने की
I am playing. मैं पूरा full frame मैं play करना चाहता हूँ critical part of the program. Watch this.
Pervez Musharraf and Pervez Ilai should be nominated. And what they have done with the Pervez Musharraf, I mean, they formed their government under the presidency of the Musharraf, and they made the deputy prime minister. Pervez Ilai becomes the deputy prime minister who was nominated by the Benazir Bhutto. So they have made a deal with the assassins of the Benazir Bhutto. Can he blame the Musharraf? Zulfikar, can you name the Musharraf? Your leader told to nominate her.
I can say it was General Musharraf who killed Benazir Bhutto. I can say here. I'm not scared and afraid
So what
of
have
anyone.
you done with the Musharraf?
It was General Musharraf.
What have you done with the Musharraf? Your Mumbai attacks took place in your
So you're
government.
saying the army killed your leader.
Under
1 minute.
your
You're saying the army, you're saying huge statement tonight. No, you see that part? That is the moment where he confesses. General Musharraf, he says, Deepak Vora. General Musharraf. Highlighting General Musharraf, which means Pakistan army killed Benazir Bhutto. Two big admissions tonight. Bilawal Bhutto says we want to extradite. आप चुप रहिए दिव्य शाह जी, आपसे सवाल भी नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं. General Bakshi, is there any doubt? General Bakshi, isn't that crystal clear? General Bakshi, isn't that crystal clear?
It's crystal clear. You know, Arnab, it is crystal clear that Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was hanged by the Pakistani army. It is crystal clear that Benazir Bhutto was assassinated by the Pakistan army. It is crystal clear that her scion, her grandson today, that her son today has clearly, unequivocally stated that Pakistan would have no objection to the extradition of Hafiz Saeed and, the other Cartoon Network character, Masood Azhar, to India. हाफिज सईद साहब का कुछ नहीं कर सकते आपके जुल्फिकार अली भुट्टो साहब के ग्रैंडसन उन्हें वापस दे रहे हैं. आपने सुना नहीं उनका बयान? नहीं, साजिश का क्या सवाल है भाई? आपके सामने उसने कहा है कि वी आर प्रिपेयर्ड टू हैंड ओवर. क्या साजिश? नहीं, हमारी क्या साजिश है इसमें?
ये हालत हो गई आपकी.
करते अपनी मौत मरेगा वो. और अब टाइम आ गया है.
Yes, Zulfikar, come on, Zulfikar. Last 30 seconds.
का जो हिस्सा है उसको पढ़ रहे हैं.
लोग हैंड ओवर करोगे उसको.
Tell you his whole statement what Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said.
Well, it doesn't matter.
He said he had no objection to extradite individuals of concern to India.
Thank you for confirming.
As a confidence-building measure.
Thank you. So you are saying, okay, thank you. So he's saying now, Deepak, that we want to hand over Hafiz Saeed as a confidence-building measure.
And provide.
Now you'll deny after 5 minutes you said that. 5 minutes बाद आप बोलेंगे. आपने ये भी नहीं बोला. He has said the topmost leader of Pakistan's People's Party has said he wants to hand over. आपने अभी बोला ना. Zulfikar, you just said you want to hand over Hafiz Saeed as a confidence building measure.
Engagement rather than.
Okay, so hand him over. Try to build confidence.
बिलावल साहब की जो बात है उसके
He just said I'm willing to hand over Hafiz Saeed as a confidence building measure.
उनकी पूरी बात को नहीं उठा रहे.
अरे पूरी अधूरी कुछ नहीं होती.
मेयर के लिए दाऊद इब्राहिम को हवाले कर दें.
दाऊद इब्राहिम को भी कीजिए as confidence building measure. Hand him over. Hand him over. Hand over Dawood. You said right now we are going to hand over Hafiz Saeed as a confidence building measure. We accept. Will we accept that? They want to hand over Hafiz Saeed. He says hand over Hafiz Saeed as a confidence building measure.
Let me just sum this up. We are all aware of the history of perfidy of Pakistan army generals against their own leaders. That's their story, but I think it's a good moment when Pakistan should attempt to embrace some amount of truth, some amount of honesty in its fight against terror. Because if they don't, what we have seen right now is only the trailer of Operation Sindoor, India's fight against terrorism.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a series of disclosures by a country caught between the devil and the deep blue sea.
All the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, whatever happens, as long as there is the army, Pakistan will never be free. I shall see you tomorrow evening at the same time. And this has been a trending edition, fascinating debate, so many disclosures, so many statements, so many U-turns. This can happen only live on a debate. It can only happen here on Republic. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
MDH की देगी मिर्च, देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का। MDH की देगी मिर्च.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Where the software engineer meets the gifted content writer, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
VVIP shocker caught on camera. MNS leader's son harasses woman in Mumbai. Big revelation by Tahawwur Rana. Sources say he admits that he was a trusted agent of the Pakistan army. Clashes reported during religious procession in several states yesterday. In Lakhimpur, stones allegedly pelted on Hindu homes. Delhi High Court dismisses the petition filed by Turkey-based ground handling company Celebi Aviation challenging the revocation of its security clearance. France calls out Chinese disinformation campaign against Rafale. French intelligence claims China trying to foil global sale of Rafale jets.
China, Pingban Theon, Tibetan Buddhists worldwide says reincarnation of Dalai Lama inherently an internal affair.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, why China has double standards and why Xi Jinping must first declare who was Mao's reincarnation before claiming that he will decide who the Dalai Lama's reincarnation will be. At 8:30 tonight, why there is violence once again during Muharram processions and why this was completely avoidable and the secularati won't talk about it. At 9 o'clock tonight, Bilawal Bhutto in big trouble after he says that Hafiz Saeed should be handed over to India. And first, ladies and gentlemen, we need to call out China's double standards. China is being extremely hypocritical. It has double standards. It's a country that does not believe in religion. And yet it is getting hyper and going ahead saying that it is going to decide who the Dalai Lama's reincarnation is going to be. Now, they've been getting very, very hot under the collar and trying to threaten people and saying that if India tries to interfere in the process of the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, it's not going to be good, blah, 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 blah. Now, the point is this, and I'm addressing the Chinese. How can anyone decide where the Dalai Lama is going to be reborn apart from the Dalai Lama himself? And if they're so interested in deciding everyone's reincarnation, then maybe Xi Jinping should start, and I mean it, I address every person in China. Every citizen in China should rise up in revolt against Xi Jinping unless Xi Jinping declares who Mao's reincarnation is and whether it is the Chinese Communist Party that has been suppressing who Mao's reincarnation is, because every Chinese premier is worried that Mao's reincarnation will take over their job. For that matter, maybe Xi Jinping should also announce who Deng Xiaoping's reincarnation is. If they're so interested in deciding who Dalai Lama's reincarnation is, then they should begin with Mao. Now, does Xi Jinping have the courage to do that? He does not. My second point tonight is this: there's no point trying to interfere in matters that are not your business. And this is to the Chinese. I would say keep your self-respect and go home. You're going to be embarrassing yourself. And I hope this video reaches the Chinese, despite all the attempts of the Chinese government to suppress information that may awaken their people. I would like to tell the Chinese people, please tell your government to stop embarrassing itself like it had done when it tried to interfere in the abrogation of an Article 370, which we did to fully integrate Kashmir with India. That's none of your business, Xi Jinping. And in 2019, when our Prime Minister visits Arunachal Pradesh, they have problems. It's no problem. I don't understand. We don't talk to and tell Xi Jinping when he has to go to Shanghai or not. Arunachal Pradesh is as much a part of India as Shanghai is a part of China. But a broader message needs to go to the Chinese. This is a new India. Don't try and talk down to us. Don't try and create trouble with us, because you're going to be creating trouble for yourself. The second point is, and logically speaking, the Chinese government is anti-religion. It does not believe in religion. It imposes restrictions on religion. Religion is tightly controlled. Religious groups are closely under a watch. That is the ideology of the Chinese Communist Party. It is officially an atheist nation. How does an atheist nation want to decide what is a purely, innately religious process, such as the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama? That's so hypocritical, that's so wrong. I think unless Xi Jinping says that Buddhism is going to be the state religion of China and we are not going to be an atheist country, a communist country, he should not talk. Secondly, even within the restricted framework of religion within China, the bottom line is the Chinese branch of Buddhism does not believe in reincarnation. Chinese Buddhism is very different from Tibetan Buddhism. Chinese Buddhism is called Han Buddhism. It does not include a reincarnation system. Now, unless Xi Jinping wants to change the essentials of Han Buddhism, he cannot do something which says, my government, which does not believe in reincarnation, Chinese Buddhism, which does not believe in reincarnation, now wants to have IP rights and a patent over the process of reincarnation. That's unacceptable. As I said, first, Xi Jinping should declare who the reincarnation is of Deng Xiaoping, who died in 1997, and why Xi Jinping has suppressed that information, or for that matter, who the reincarnation of Mao is, who died in 1976. Now, why the Chinese are getting so worked up is because China invaded Tibet in 1950. This is 2025. At that time, the Dalai Lama was 15 years old. Today, he is 90 years old. And he's saying, I'm going to decide where I'm going to be reincarnated. This entire controversy is actually, I would say, reminding the Chinese of their failure to crush the spirit of the Tibetan people, the independent spirit, the fighting spirit, the ideologically unswerving spirit of the Tibetan people, which generations before and generations after Xi Jinping will continue to try to crush, and they will fail. So Xi Jinping knows that he's been an utter failure. He can't do anything on Taiwan. He cannot do anything on Tibet. His time is running out. His economy is falling. He's fighting with the Americans. He's fighting with everyone. He's unpopular even in the global south. And India has always stood by Tibet, and all the suppression of the Tibetans has failed. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are a few straight questions to the Chinese. Don't poke your business in other people's affairs. And Tibet is not your business. Not your business. This message is to the Chinese. Please spread it so it reaches the Chinese Communist Party and they understand where not to cross the line.
Happy 90th birthday, Your Holiness. The world is forever grateful.
His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama turned 90 years old yesterday, and the entire nation joined Dharamshala in the festivities. Union Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Minority Affairs Kiran Rijiju alongside Union Minister Rajiv Ranjan were in attendance to wish His Holiness along with the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh.
His Holiness' teachings have influenced our governance philosophy. We draw inspirations from his principles of compassion and non-violence in shaping policies that promote harmony and collective well-being.
However, the Chinese were not at all pleased by India's unwavering support to the Dalai Lama. They even objected to the Prime Minister extending birthday wish to His Holiness.
我们希望印方充分认识到摄藏问题的高度敏感性，认清14世达赖的反华分裂本质，恪守在摄藏问题上的承诺，谨言慎行，停止利用摄藏问题干涉中国内政，避免影响中印关系的改善和发展。
China's strong reaction comes just days after the Dalai Lama broke his silence on the reincarnation question and said that the institution of Dalai Lama will continue. India's position on the matter is very clear.
Dalai Lama institution is purely religious, and I have come here as a devotee, and it is a religious matter. And Government of India believes that there should be no interference into the religious matter. I don't want to react on the Chinese statement, but my position is very clear that we leave everything to His Holiness Dalai Lama for his guidance.
But China is up in arms, especially against the Tibetan government in exile.
所谓西藏流亡政府是一个分裂主义的政治集团，惯于编造涉藏的谣言谎言，没有任何公信力可言。活佛转世是藏传佛教特有的传承方式，达赖、班禅等大活佛转世都是按照严密的宗教仪轨和历史定制，根据国内寻访、经评撤迁、中央政府批准的原则开展。
With the dragon fearing of losing its control over the Tibetan narrative, with the Dalai Lama choosing his reincarnation to be born outside Tibet, the Dalai Lama has put China in a tough spot. The only question remains, with China repeatedly interfering in India's internal matters and violating territorial sovereignty of India with CPEC, illegal occupation of Shaksham Valley and Aksai Chin, and illegal renaming in Arunachal Pradesh. Why is the dragon so scared of the sacred Buddhist monk?
Here we are joined this evening by Penpa Sering. He's the elected head of the Tibetan government in exile. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Sik Kyong of the Central Tibetan Administration. Mr. Sering, thank you very much. Thank you. You hold immense power.
Thank you for having me.
And you are truly the representative of the Tibetan people. How do you view China's nervousness about the reincarnation of His Holiness the Dalai Lama?
I think that is the power of non-violence and truth combined together, and with persistence. The non-violence is a means to resolve all kind of conflicts. If you look at the violent conflicts that are going on around the world today, you don't know whether you are really resolving one problem or you are creating more problems for future. So non-violence as a means is very powerful, and when you have truth on your side, historical truth on your side, then it really jitters the Chinese, because they are on very thin ground when it comes to the historical status of Tibet, the continued repression of the Tibetans inside Tibet, destruction of the Tibetan people's identity, the language that came from India, the Tibetan language came from India, Devanagari script in 7th century, and we transliterated almost every available Sanskrit and Pali Buddhist text from 8th to 13th century before Buddhism almost vanished out of India. So we are proud to be one part of ancient Indian wisdom, and that even that China claims that it came from China, which is totally false claim of the origin of Tibetan Buddhism, even though Buddhism did spread to China much before it spread to India some 3-4 centuries before. But the Tibetan Buddhism that we practice in Tibet is the Nalanda tradition of Buddhism here in India. So we are proud to be a repository of one part of ancient Indian wisdom, and all these, I think, angles of...
they're issuing threats, Mr. Sering. They're almost sounding violent in their language. You talk about non-violence. However, they say their argument is that the Chinese Communist Party will decide the reincarnation as per Chinese law. Now, there was no Chinese Communist Party in ancient Buddhist tradition. So I don't know where the logic is. But they claim that only the Chinese premier has the right to decide the next Dalai Lama. Is there anything historical or by precedent which can sort of strengthen their claim? I find none.
Yeah, there are three claims that China is making. One, that they will look for His Holiness reincarnation within China or within Tibet. And there you already have cases of the third Dalai Lama being born in Mongolia. You have the sixth Dalai Lama born in India, in Tawang. So you have earlier Dalai Lamas who have been born outside Tibet. So that is, again, a false claim that they should look for only. That is why the response from His Holiness is that he will be born in a free world. The second thing the Chinese government says is that they should use the golden urn. Now, golden urn was introduced only in 1793 when there was some influence of the Manchus over the Tibetans way back in 1793. But there were 8 Dalai Lamas before 1793, and there were Dalai Lamas up to the 14th. So does the Chinese government to say that the 8 Dalai Lamas before 1793 were not Dalai Lamas? In that case, that was the real tradition of how we select the Dalai Lamas. Chinese interfered, but even then it was a Qing dynasty and they were Buddhists. But right now, the government that wants to interfere in the selection of what they call as living Buddhas or reincarnated Lamas in our case is completely absurd.
Do you think the Tibetans, will face more repression, more violence from the Chinese? I mean, those who are there under Chinese occupation, Chinese after the invasion. Do you think the Tibetans there will face more repression? Because the Chinese have killed so many Tibetans over the years. All those who resist them have been killed and imprisoned, and they've been, estimates are up to 100,000 Tibetans killed. Lhasa is under curfew. Do you think things will get worse going forward with the Tibetans who are under Chinese occupation?
So far, the Tibetans have remained non-violent. It's mainly because His Holiness restrains them from taking up violence, because His Holiness says that if you take up violence, then I will no more be responsible for. We often get asked question whether Tibetans will get radicalized because of too much repression from the Chinese side. That's very much possible. If this 14th Dalai Lama has to die in exile, I think that will strike a lot of emotions within Tibet, and there will be nobody else to control the Tibetans inside Tibet as much as His Holiness used to do so. So we are afraid of what could be the consequences if His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has to die in exile.
Well, we wish him a long life. And we wish an end to Chinese repression.
His Holiness is committed to living long. He keeps reassuring us that he will live for 2 decades and more. And in the last 1-2 months, he has been saying, I'll live up to 130. So I keep telling the Chinese, this message is for you. You are waiting for this Dalai Lama to die.
It's so terrible to behave like this, yeah.
Very
they should
long,
wish him a long life.
We have to decide now.
They should wish him a long life, but they're so insecure.
Whether communism outlives His Holiness or His Holiness outlives His Holiness, that is something we have to watch out.
Well said. Thank you, Mr. Sering. Thank you very much. That's the President of the Tibetan government in exile, Penpa Sering, joining us this evening. We have Einar Tangen from Beijing. He's a senior fellow at the Taipei Institute. We have Yeshi Dawa. He's joining us from McLeodganj, which is the center of the Tibetan government in exile. And we have General Sudhakarji, who is a very well-known defense expert, joining us from Jaipur. To start with you, Einar, China does not believe in religion, and there are many restrictions on religion, and it's oxymoronic, therefore, to interfere in a process which is religious, and therefore I don't understand how this interference can happen. I mean, you don't believe in religion, why get into a religious process which you discount?
Well, I think that Beijing sees this as political. I mean, let's take a look at...
Then why get into a religious process?
Excuse me?
You said you see it as political, but the reincarnation process is not a political process.
Oh, really? Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about Buddhism today. It dropped 19 million between 2010 and 20, resulting in 324 million followers. China has the largest number of Buddhists. Within China, 4% identify formally as Buddhists. They put that down on paper and have not been arrested. But a much larger percentage, up to 16%, believe in Buddha. There are 3 main existing branches of Buddhism, as you know, Theravada, Vajrayana, and Mahayana. Mahayana, which is the one that the Dalai Lama belongs to, has 185 million followers out of that larger number. But because of splits and geographical differences, even within Tibet, which has only 2.2 million Tibetans, it's much, much less because there are 5 different colors of Buddhism and there are very, very different beliefs, although he is definitely recognized as one of the most influential leaders in Buddhism itself. He was chosen by the Golden Urn process, so if you say it's not a legitimate process, well, then you can say that he's not legitimate. In terms of, the overall tone, if I had said what you said about Xi Jinping, about Narendra Modi, you would say you're off the line, that you're being disrespectful. And I think that's something that we think. If don't call other people out in ways that are so nasty, if you don't want the same thing for your own leaders. And I don't think it helps. I understand your point. You wanted to make it clear that you don't think that China should be involved in religious doctrines. Well, the fact is that the Dalai Lama, the search for the next Dalai Lama, is generally conducted by the Panchen Lama, and that's history. So if you don't want to rely on that, you can do what you want. But the idea that the Dalai Lama himself, who says he's going to live to 140, is going to have a Swiss registered organization choose the next Dalai Lama, is a little bit of a conceit. He's not the leader of the Tibet of his religion. He is certainly an important figure in it, but he doesn't decide these things.
No. Okay, so I heard you. Thank you. 1995, why did the Chinese abduct the 11th Panchen Lama, if you believed in that process? Point one, that's where you're completely off the line. Second point is, I believe that if you believe that it's the responsibility of the Chinese Communist Party to declare reincarnations, I do not believe I'm out of line in asking, would you please tell us, why has the Chinese Communist Party not declared the reincarnation of Mao? That's not disrespectful.
Well, I don't know. They're not Buddhists.
So only Buddhists get reincarnated according to you?
Well,
or a non-Buddhist decides, the reincarnation of Buddhists.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying that. Are you saying that only Buddhists get reincarnated according to the Communist Party?
Well, the Communist Party doesn't believe in reincarnation.
Then if you don't believe in it, then why do you want to? How can it control a process it does not believe in?
Okay, so it does believe that it is in control of the territory that it's in, and that the matters in Tibet are internal, just like India believes that matters are internal to it, which others do not.
So do you believe that reincarnations, the Chinese, so you're saying here that the Chinese Communist Party, which does not believe in religion, which does not believe in reincarnation, believes, however, that reincarnation happens within political boundaries?
No, they believe that the selection of the head, well, let me finish. They believe that the selection of the head of this particular sect within Buddhism should not be done by one individual.
But here's the thing. You see, the
Chinese
and
who is against their government. This is very practical. I mean, I'm surprised you failed to understand it.
Einar, I'm surprised that you don't know the basics of the Chinese Buddhist faith, because Yeshi can tell you this. Han Buddhism does not believe in reincarnation. This Chinese form of Buddhism, which most Chinese follow, who you call Buddhist, does not believe in reincarnation.
No, there you're clearly wrong. There's no such thing as Han Buddhism. They follow Mahayana Buddhism in China, as does
But Buddhism is not a Chinese origin, so obviously you must understand some Indian origin.
Your idea that you know exactly what's going on in China is false. You can't say, there's no such thing. Look up Han Buddhism. There's nothing in the dictionary that says that.
Let me get in.
You're making this up to make it a partisan issue.
I'm just saying that I'm just saying that China does not. My essential point is. I'll get in Yeshi on this. My essential point is this: that China does not believe in religion. China does not believe in reincarnation,
yes.
And to control a process that you consider illegitimate. is a bit contradictory. And I'd like Yeshi to throw in his point of view from McLeodganj. Yeshi, you heard Einar Tangen. How are you viewing this?
Arnab, the gentleman on the other side rightly confesses that the Communist Party of China does not believe in reincarnation. If that is the case, then why are they interfering in the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama? And they would definitely claim that it is their right to choose the next Dalai Lama through Golden Urn system. But if you look at the history of Golden Urn system, it was imposed on Tibet in 1793 by Manchu Empire. And if you look at the Manchu Empire, emperor then, he was a devout Buddhist follower. So that is not the case with the current CCP leadership. They don't believe in religion. The very founding member of CCP who notoriously told that religion is a poison. So that is the number one. And if you talk about the Golden Urn system, it is a very corrupted practice. If you look at the case of how they chose China's 11th Panchen Lama, so we all know that the then Bureau of Religious Affairs, Ye Xiaowen, who told Ajahn Rinpoche how they corrupted that practice and how they specifically aimed to choose the Gensen Nobu. So are we going to allow the Chinese Communist Party to choose the next Dalai Lama in this way? Because we all know that it is a corrupted practice.
Einar, that's Yeshi Dewa. He's a fantastic researcher, understands the religion.
I'm sure he is. But the fact is,
he throws a question at you.
As religion and hypocritical. I think from the Beijing side, they see this as purely political.
No,
right?
that is a wrong thing you're doing.
You're arguing apples. They're arguing oranges.
No. We're not arguing. We're not. See, this is where I feel, if you don't mind, Einar, sorry to interrupt you again. You know, I think the problem here is that China has a condescending approach towards religion. It calls religion apples and oranges. Religion is deep. You may not be religious, the Chinese may not be religious, but the 14th Dalai Lama, who you have been unable to crush, right, was identified as a reincarnation when he was 2 years old. That search was made after a vision by a monk. That search, that vision of the monk, that monk was not a member of the Chinese Communist Party. He had nothing to do with the Chinese leadership. He was not political. You see, I believe that there are some areas where we must leave it to higher purpose. And I appeal to the Chinese not to disrespect the Buddhist faith, the Buddhist way of life by doing this. And also, if you're calling it political, General Sudhakarji would like to give you a counter perspective from Jaipur. General Sudhakarji, your response to Einar, please.
Well, Arnav, good evening. Thank you for getting me to your show, and compliments to very distinguished panelists. Allow me to talk rather very frankly. Let me start by saying, as a student of geopolitics, strategy and security, I'm more than convinced that Tibet was never part of the People's Republic of China. It was invaded in the year 50. And let me take the mind of our viewers back to a date, 23rd May 1951. A 17-point agreement was signed. Suffice to say, keeping in view the time restrictions in your channel, I must compliment you, Arnav, for highlighting that aspect of 1995, Dalai Lama named Gedun Choki Niga as the Panchen Lama, 11th Panchen Lama. He was rejected by China and they replaced him. He was abducted. He's still missing. They replaced him with a person whom they wanted. Basically, what does it highlight? It highlights that China does not believe in any religion. China does not have a system of considering any belief system. It's an atheist state. Cynicism, when we talk about cynicism, what does it mean? It means that China would prefer to convert all religions into Chinese religion. So the Chinese religion, talk about Xinjiang province or Tibet, these are the two areas which are surfacing or facing dissent. The biggest threat for China today, when you talk in terms of political realm, is the dissent within China itself. It's not the external threat. It is not the threat from USA. China would do well as a rising global power by 2049, rejuvenate the Middle Kingdom by the timeline or before that, provided it holds together. I am fearing that there is going to be a collapse of the internal system at the administration if they do not respect and accept the belief system based on which a Tibetan religion has actually grown. They invaded, they captured Tibet. Tibet was never part, we never had a border with China. We had a border with the Tibet to the east. And to the west, we had border with the East Turkestan. And last but not the least, if you allow me, is that when you talk about the religion, the incarnation is a process of, it's a religious process. That religious process, the 14th Dalai Lama, I was reading a book today written by some Chinese research scholar. They claim that the 14th Dalai Lama has been actually selected purely out of the golden urn process. No. I'm a student of geopolitics. I'm also a historian. I am convinced that he has gone through the process of reincarnation. My friend from Dharamshala, he will bear me out, who represents the Tibetan philosophy. Golden urn is a narrative which has been built by China by and by, taking advantage of the history. This has to be understood by our viewers. Then only you'll get the right perspective. So therefore, suffice to say, why only us? US has gone in for making a policy. A legislature has been actually formulated way back in 2020, wherein they have said that it's a process. Reincarnation is the process of religious practice of this belief system.
Actually, it's interesting here. China is just saying we have the right, but they have nothing to prove they ever have the right. Buddhism predates the People's Republic of China or the Chinese Communist Party. So, chronologically, it's not making any sense here, Einar, and people are getting upset. They believe that you're getting involved in a process that is beyond the realm of the Communist Party. And this is not the way the 14th Dalai Lama was. And why disrespect the 14th Dalai Lama? Why disrespect him?
Should I just hang up? You're not going to let me talk.
No. I'm asking you. You must not get irritated.
You keep asking questions, but you don't come to an end. You just keep making statements.
You can place your point of view, Einar, but don't get angry if you're being countered.
All right. I'm not being countered. You're talking apples and oranges. And here you want to talk about an irony. Here are Hindus talking about another religion that they don't believe in. And quite frankly, the Hindus were not too friendly to the Buddhists in past years. And I mean many years ago, when they were basically drummed out of India. So this idea that you hold this spiritual thing sacred, when in fact you don't believe in it yourself, is equally as hypocritical as you're trying to say that Chinese don't believe in it. We're talking about politics today. And that's the way Beijing sees it. You can see it however you want. It's convenient. But in the end, all right, you have to admit this is about succession. And succession is about power. And that is exactly how Beijing sees it. Now, you're spiritual, yes. But, this idea that you're outraged that a religion you don't believe in is being decided by one individual who is not representative of the whole Buddhist religion. Sounds a little empty to me.
No, Einar, I can only blame your ignorance of both Hinduism and Buddhism, which is understandable. Maybe you know nothing about them. Both Buddhism and Hinduism believe in the principle of reincarnation. There are 9 million Buddhists in our country. And, people from across the world come here to the Sarnath temple. And I think you know nothing about the Buddhist tradition in India. And you are jealous of the fact that Buddhism has spread across the world from India. And see, the bitterness is not. See, I'll tell you, one of the things religion teaches you is not to be bitter. But I like your confession. I must confess today, I like the fact that you have confessed that China has only a political intent. See, that is a big thing being spoken here. Yashi, he said we have only a political intent in this. We don't have any religious intent. We have a political intent. And we want to use this for a political purpose. It's a very major statement. Maybe Einar will regret it later. You said it's a political process for us. It's not reincarnation is not political. Reincarnation is not political. Don't do this.
Well, who decides who's being reincarnated is?
But you don't decide. The Communist Party does not decide who is getting reincarnated. Now, this is getting absurd, Einar, by your own...
And the Hindu religion should decide who is...
No, the Hindu religion does not. The political party in India does not decide reincarnation. Do you think the Bharatiya BJP decides reincarnation?
Then why are you supporting it? Are you supporting a position you don't believe in?
No. Hindus believe in reincarnation, but we don't need a political party to ratify it.
No, but you don't believe in the tenets. You have gods. They don't.
Dalai Lama himself believes in the unity
Buddhism.
You are making a big mistake here. You have just 1 minute. 1 minute. Einar, see. Why did you get yourself in a fix tonight? Because you began with a confession that for you, this is all about achieving a political purpose. I appreciate the confession. This will go viral, this statement across the world. That you came and you said, see, we are only interested in politics. We are not interested in religion. For us, this is a political move by us.
India is interested in the politics as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be supporting a position of a...
The Tibetans are so happy in India. So happy, so wonderful. I mean, ask
Having 9 million Buddhists in India does not equal the same amount as hundreds of billions in China.
Einar says this is political, purely political for them.
Yes,
Arnab,
it is political.
China is so much... Yes. Arnab, since China is so much obsessed with the power, if you look at the history, if we can combine Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping, Hu Jintao, Jiang Zemin, Xi Jinping, if we combine them together, still they couldn't overshadow the power of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in Tibet and around the world. So that's why they are so much obsessed about the power. And since the gentleman on the other side mentioned about Hindus, I would like to make a very important point here. China snatched Mount Kailash from Tibet. Now, if you look at what is happening with Kailash Yatra, whenever border incursions happen, then they would politicize it. And they would just stop the Kailash Yatra.
They do that.
And they would say, let's resume it. Now, are we also going to allow to politicize the institution of Dalai Lama by the Chinese government? So this is a big question that we all have to think.
Yes, but we wish him a long life. And I know that will be true. Contrary views tonight, but very interesting. Einar, Yeshi, and Gerald Sudhakar, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, the nation unfortunately witnessed multiple incidents of violence, vandalism, and chaos. Now, on Muharram, stones were pelted, temples targeted, and properties violated in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, respectively. Totally avoidable. Here's a quick report. Then we have to debate this.
प्रशासन अब दोहरा रहा है यहाँ पर गाड़ी था शाहजहांपुर की जानिब से साफे बनाए
From Bihar to Madhya Pradesh to Uttar Pradesh stones were pelted, temples targeted, barricades broken and houses attacked. Uncontrolled mobs on streets with sticks and machetes in hands. Police forced to lathi charge. On Sunday, Muharram procession witnessed violence in multiple states. Not just that, terror outfit Hezbollah flags were raised during one such procession in Srinagar. On the other hand, temples were targeted in Bihar's Katihar and Hindu Rashtra banner were set ablaze during Muharram procession in Ratlam. Sympathy for terrorists and hatred for Sanatan and Hindus, it's a template of politicians. Can this Sunday violence be passed off as sporadic incidents? Should we not ask, who is stoking this violence?
Sanju Verma, Zafar Sareshwala on one side, Tausif Khan of the TMC and Shahid Ali. My first question is to you, Shahid Ali. You know, I'm getting worried at this trend that wherever there are big Muslim groups of Muslim, largely men, during religious events, there is violence. Religion should teach you about peace. And who is the anger towards? Why can't this be celebrated peacefully? And more than that, Shahid, why put up flags of a terrorist group called Hezbollah? Why put up flags of Palestine? Why make a political statement, right, on a religious event? What is this? Is this some kind of Muslim assertion?
Keeping peace is a duty of the state, sir. And the state, I think, has failed in discharging its duty to keep peace. As far as the procession is concerned, we have seen...
No, you won't talk about the people who... No, you will attack the police, then say the police can't keep peace.
Oh, so please hear me out now.
No, what is the anger? अंदर का इतना गुस्सा क्या है? किस चीज का गुस्सा है? Why are they angry?
People are pelting stones.
No, why are they pelting stones? Why are they angry?
Oh, that's why I'm saying.
Who are they angry with?
To protect the processions as well.
No, why are they throwing stones, attacking people, attacking Hindus, attacking temples in other places? Why are they angry?
Who is going to be benefited out of this?
No, why are they angry? Why are they attacking people? Why can't they be peaceful?
Particular party. So the influence of the political party is ruled out.
Why are you attacking an inspector with a knife?
Sir, these are the matter of serious investigation, serious concern as to who has been doing all these things, who is behind all these things.
No, but all the time during religious events, why are these Muslim groups becoming violent? Sanju is on the debate.
These violences are not the matter of celebrations. We should celebrate here on television.
So why are they attacking people from other communities? Why are they stone pelting at a temple? Does any religion tell you to throw stones at temples of Hindus?
We condemn strong stances.
So why is it happening? ये trend क्या बना हुआ है? You think people will be quiet?
Sir, you think your
trend is set by Kavadia.
Sir.
Arnab, this has to be a same debate. I need to come in now. Listen to this man. He's made zero sense.
Because this must have been directed by some of the bosses who wants this kind of the violences and all.
No. I think as a responsible Muslim leader, you should condemn this violence. Sanju is responding to you. Sanju.
Arnab, the violence that we've seen in the last few days, beat Azamgarh, beat Deoria, beat Kumbhalgarh Fort at Rajsamand in Rajasthan, even places in Mumbai, Maharashtra like Nalasopara, stray incidents of violence in Muhammad Ali Road, Bhendi Bazaar, which are Muslim dominated. I think it's a mindset problem. The violence in Muharram processions is not an isolated incident, and I'll tell you why. For instance, look at what happened at Kumbhalgarh Fort. Muslims said that Hindus cannot celebrate Hanuman Jayanti at Kumbhalgarh Fort last year. Muslim group said Hindus cannot celebrate Maharana Pratap Jayanti at Kumbhalgarh Fort last year. But this year, the same Muslim group wanted special treatment. I did not interject. Please keep quiet. I did not heckle you, sir, even once. Can you show some decency? I did not heckle you even once, whoever you are. Please show some decency. Debate में आकर बोलना नहीं है, सुनना भी पड़ता है.
You want to make a point
Fine,
that
you
since
continue
the
ranting. I will
Hindus, as per
speak
you,
after you're
are
done.
not allowed to celebrate, the Muslims should also
Arnab,
not be.
I did not heckle this man. I don't know who this uncouth guy is because I did not interject him.
Law and order is the problem of the state.
Keep talking.
Law and order has to be maintained by states. So this is, state has failed in discharging duty. So you people have not been raising your voice.
Are you done now?
Just one point. Shahid, I opened with you. I think you should let Sanju complete her point because Zafar has not even spoken here. And it's a matter of concern. It's not a matter of amusement for us at least. It may be for you. Sanju.
And Kavadia,
if you look at one important trend, Arnab, each time there is violence, it is the police constabulary which comes under attack. They are attacked with swords, knives, Molotov cocktails, boulders, stones. This happened to the Sambhal SP Anuj Chaudhary. He was attacked by radical Islamist groups. This happened last year when India won the ICC T20 World Cup. There was large spread violence in Indore, Bhopal and Mao. The SP was targeted by radical Islamist groups. This also happened, in West Bengal, where the police tried to bring peace when there was violence in Malda and Murshidabad, and radical Islamist group attacked policemen in Murshidabad and Malda. So the template is very clear. Simply don't attack Hindus. Now also attack the law and order machinery, attack the policemen and policewomen in uniform. And I think it cannot get worse than this. This is the mindset of कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, अफजल हम शर्मिंदा हैं, तेरे कातिल जिंदा हैं. This is the same mindset. भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे, इंशाअल्लाह इंशाअल्लाह. This is the same mindset which led to the horrific ISIS style beheading of Kanhaiya Lal in Rajasthan. This is the same mindset which led to the
Sanju, since tonight the time is a little limited, I put a counter question and Tausif, Zafar Sareshwala can come in on this. Zafar, another aspect is,
I will take that question.
In Jammu and Kashmir, they are carrying pictures of the supreme leader of Iran, Khamenei. Our head of our government, right? Head of our government is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, not Khamenei. The Hezbollah is a terrorist group. You're putting out flags of a terrorist group. Why is this happening during Muharram?
Let me come in here. Yeah.
Because in
Arnab, first of all, this Muharram procession has nothing to do with Islam. Nowhere in the Islamic world such processions happen. And I'll give you how it has started. It was started by Tughlaq, Temur the Lame, the king, because he used to visit during his reign every year on 10th Muharram, he used to visit Karbala, but that particular year he was sick or whatever, he couldn't go. So his Islamic scholars of those days, they said, okay, you build a replica of that tomb of Imam Hussain.
That's a religious aspect. I don't want to go into it. I don't want to get into convention. I want to get into the violence during the Muharram processions only. I don't want to question an individual's beliefs, please.
I'm saying that it has nothing to do with religion, first. And if at all, this procession is about somber, it is about condolence. It is not about celebration. How on earth in these processions there are DJs, people dancing, people sloganeering? This basically defeats the basic purpose for what it is.
What is the religion? What is the violence?
Nothing.
What in your view is justifying these scattered incidents of violence? Why is this happening? What is the mindset behind it?
Yes, and they have no business of putting posters of
Hezbollah flags
or Hezbollah or
Palestine.
Absolutely, this is, I don't know from where these people have got this idea, and violence as absolutely, there should be zero tolerance. People who are bringing these processions, it is their duty to control the people whom they bring on the procession. It is about somberness. It is about calmness. And how on earth it is a celebration? It is not a celebration at all. So I think whatever we are seeing, whoever is doing, they should be dealt severely.
Yeah, and they should, Tausif, they should not try. I mean, where is your secularism now, by the way? Where is it? Is it under your table? Is it hiding somewhere?
Arnab, it is a complete failure of the state police. We have seen even in Kawad Yatra, police were thrashed by the Kawad Yatris, whether in Uttar Pradesh, whether in Uttarakhand.
And the violence.
Therefore, state, why you allowing her?
Don't talk about Kawad Yatra.
Why is she heckling? Why is BJP spokesperson heckling? She owns this channel. Does she own this channel? Why Arnab allowing this BJP spokesperson to heckle? Kawad Yatra, whether Mohammed the responsibility of police, they should stop it. Police jeep was trashed. The police inspector was brutally attacked by Kawad Yatris. So therefore, it's a complete failure of
Show me the link between Hezbollah and Muharram. How can you justify the use of Hezbollah flags during Muharram? Shahid, tell me, what is the link between Hezbollah flags and Muharram?
Our Tiranga Indian national flag.
No, 1 minute.
No place for Hindu Rashtra flag.
No, 1 minute. Where is the link between Hezbollah flags, Khomeini and Muharram?
These kind of slogans. So you are the last
So answer is twofold.
Shahid!
Answer is twofold. Number one, who hoisted Hezbollah flag? This has to be seen. The investigation should be conducted. Number two, Iran has not been banned by India.
No. But what is the link between Khomeini, Palestine, Hezbollah flags and Muharram? Can't you? Obviously, there is no link. Why can't you say there is no link?
Palestine is the oldest partner. Palestine is the oldest ally of India. So please do not forget.
What does it have to do with religion?
Palestine and Iran have not been banned by India.
What does it have to do with religion? Zafar! What does it have to do with religion? Don't avoid the question, Zafar!
Arnab, what has this to do with celebration? And if it is a procession of somberness, where is Khomeini coming here? How is Hezbollah coming here? If this is a procession about sacrifice of Imam Hussein, how on earth you are bringing Hezbollah or Khomeini? This is an absolute provocation, and I think the people who are coming out with this procession, they should be held responsible for that.
Sir, provocation to whom? Provocation to whom?
Why on earth? If the
Khomeini has come, if you see Shia Muslims follow Khomeini. Shia Muslims follow Khomeini.
No.
If they align
It
with
is about
Khomeini,
Imam Hussein.
whether
it is not about Khomeini.
Iran,
Who is Khomeini?
whether we have